The information shared on this podcast is for education and inspiration only and is never a substitute for medical advice from your own healthcare provider. This is Everything's Messy podcast. Real stories, real conversations, real strength found in the mess. I'm Sarah, your messy host. Most of you know I don't chase perfection, I strive for consistency. And every week I sit down with incredible guests to showcase how they found their strength in the mess. And sometimes it's just you and me to have honest conversations about health, resilience, autoimmune disease, hormones, burnout, mindset, and every mess life throws our way. Because the truth is, none of us have it all together. And maybe that's exactly where healing begins. So grab your coffee, your sparkling water, go for a walk, lift heavy, play some golf, or just take a breath. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get messy. Hey everyone, welcome to season 4 of Everything's Messy podcast. I am your messy host, Sarah. So if you've been following along in sports this week, specifically golf, there was a very disturbing video that Good and Callaway put up to advertise their new driver. The backlash that it has received is not only appropriate, but probably needs to be more. The apologies that they've issued doesn't seem to come close to what it should be. And I just wanted to jump on here and say there's never, ever a good reason to display violence against women for anything, let alone advertising your new driver. And what's interesting is on this season 4, number 1 episode, I interview Lainey Lovestein-Tate and Lily Lovestein, a sister duo who, out of Huntington Beach, has started this female-owned, co-founded Good Sport collective, all-female women clothing for golf, for tennis, for being active. And I didn't know it at the time when I was interviewing them, but we talk about having a seat at the table, what that means. And at this point, I think the question should be, we need to start making our own tables and finding seats to sit there. I just can't believe in 2026 that we're having to deal with something like this, especially in an industry, in an area where women are playing more than ever. That should be welcomed. I know for myself personally, I always am respectful on the course. I'm respectful of the time that I'm taking. I make sure that if I need to let people play through, I absolutely do that. I will say since I started playing though, I do feel sometimes that there are certain people that are just angry that women are out on the golf course. It really hurts that we're having to deal with this kind of video in 2026. So I say all that to say things are messy, right? This is what we're living in, this is what we're dealing with. But I think kudos needs to go out to all the women on social media who have turned it into love and supporting other women versus more hate. And I'm so grateful to be a part of that community. And again, in this particular episode, we're lifting up 2 women who just struck out on their own to co-found this Good Sport collective golf clothing line for all women. I'm so honored that they got to come on my podcast. And unfortunately, because things are messy, the first couple of minutes of our podcast was corrupted. You know, sometimes technical difficulties happen. So I pieced together the best that I could. I appreciate you all being here for season 4, the first episode. Without further ado, Lainey Lovestein-Tate, Lily Lovestein with Good Sport Collective. Here we go. Let's get messy. Just starting off the podcast of showing up in a room that maybe you don't know that you should be there, or, it's mostly men, or all of the things that come along with golf and trying to break into that, space. Mm-hmm. How does that feel? Is that dare me, I'm going to do it? Or is that a little intimidating?
Yeah, great question. I feel like it was intimidating at first, but we've been doing so many events and meeting so many amazing people that now we feel so confident in our brand and our story and why we're doing what we're doing. So I feel like it was intimidating at first, but now we're just feeling so much more confident and we're just so happy to be here and be in these events.
I love it. Yeah. And I also think that the whole point of us starting Good Sport Collective is we love to golf and it's such a male dominated sport.
Right.
So of course it's intimidating to start a business, but to do it in a male dominated industry and sport alone, we knew what we were signing up for and we have each other. So I think that
that's so helpful having each other to lead.
We hype each other up.
Yeah.
So which one is older? I love it, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Because I know, right? Yeah.
and so I'm 5 years older.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm 29.
And I'm 24.
Was it a collective idea?
It was kind of more your idea at first, right?
So we both played golf team in high school. So we both loved it. And it was like a recreational thing that we both had passions for. We both went to college, maybe played a little less just because we were so busy.
Sure.
Post college, got back into it and just loved it so much. And we both love to dress cute. And so that's a big thing for us. When we go to a Pilates class, we have our full sets. Any other sport or something.
It's all about the outfit.
I did cheer in high school also, and I loved the cute outfits, dressing up. And so we were like, we want to make a brand that we feel confident and we want to wear, and it's something that we think is cute and we like personally wearing it.
I've recently gotten back into it. But I will tell you, the outfit does make the difference on how I play.
Right?
And people say that I'm crazy about that, but I am telling you, if I'm feeling confident and cute in that outfit, I'm going to do better.
Yes, 100%. Look good, feel good. Yeah.
That's our motto in this brand. And so we were just taken aback that there wasn't a brand or multiple brands by this point. Since high school, we're wearing the same outfits. We didn't have a brand that we loved back then, and nothing's changed. And so we really found like, okay, there's a missing market.
Sure.
And we're raised by entrepreneurs. And so we always kind of had that in the back of our heads. Like, it would be so fun to open a company
And start our own business.
see our own boss one day. And so we just decided to do it.
Yeah.
And it has been the best thing that we've done.
Well, and I want to get into your backstory a little bit because I was doing a little research.
Yeah.
I think it's worth mentioning that you didn't start with a whole lot to start this business. This was from scratch.
Yes.
No big, purses hanging in the back of being able to do that. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So this all started with two sisters and a dream. Seriously. It using just whatever savings I had, and it wasn't too crazy savings, and just being scrappy with, okay, if we can start with this and these samples work, what can we do here? All right, we've gotten some product, now we've sold at some sales that can get us, that profit can go towards paying for next drop. Now our big goal for the year was 100 sales, and we got that in month 2.
Yes, we're so happy.
And this past month we did 9 events in just July alone. So
we've been grinding. We're just saying yes to everything that comes our way. We're just trying to, every event we've gone to, we've noticed that we've learned lessons at each event. We've grown in our experiences. And so every event we've done, we've kind of taken it up a notch. And so we're really trying to just work hard because, like she said, we didn't have a huge fund to begin with. So when we make money at an event, I'm like, okay, let's use that towards this drop, or let's use that towards getting a sample.
It's completely falling back into the
Yes,
yes. Which I see, though. I see the writing on the wall.
Yes.
And I think, like, for your listeners, if they have a dream and they tell themselves like, oh, I would love to do this, but because that was a big thing growing up.
It's scary.
We've always wanted to have our own business, but there was always something, but maybe when I get this, or I can't yet because of this. And there will never be
the right time.
There will always be that but reason to not do it. So just tell yourself, I want this, I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
And that's what we did. We just committed to it. And it's been the best thing that has ever happened.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I want to get a little technical. Talk a little bit about like the design that you started. Did you wake up one morning from a dream and be like, oh, I see it? Or did you have a background?
Yeah. I wanted to tell them how we wanted the dress to be like complimenting on everybody's body.
Yes.
So when we were designing the dress, we had it come to us and we would try it on, had a bunch of our friends try it on, see what works. My sister and I are both tall ladies. So we wanted it to be long enough and like at an appropriate length that regardless of the golf course, like it's appropriate.
Sure.
It has the collar.
We're not trying to scare the guys.
Right.
We still have some respect for the older guys.
So we wanted these dresses to be, especially for our first couple drops, we wanted them to be the perfect golf dress that you can grab for any course and you're accepted. So it has the collar, it has the appropriate length.
Yes.
We wanted it to be flattering patterns. So did so many sample renditions where to take it in and make it sleek. So yeah, there were a lot of,
I bet.
from the original sample that we came up with, the design that we had sent to manufacturing to what we got the first time, it is like a fully
Totally
different.
different. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so the back and forth, and no one tells you about that to start with.
But was that the fun part? Like talking, like just the journey of like getting and agreeing. Was there ever disagreements? Were you like
getting the final version? Oh yeah. And especially because we're tall and getting a design that comes up to like my waist, I'm like, oh, it's a dress, not a shirt.
Yeah.
And so getting all of it back and then finally wearing it and going golfing and then being with our friends and then going,
that's the true test.
It was the
and the first
practical on the course.
Yes. And the first time I didn't say anything and just went on the course with my girlfriends and they were like, wait, I love your dress. And they're like, is that GS? Is that the good sport? Is this a dress? And that was
like, yes, it is.
And it was the best feeling.
I was going to say, what an accomplishment. And then to see it out there, right?
And that's another thing is, so we've been going to all these events and these clinicals for women, and we've just been seeing so many ladies show up in our good sport dresses or their hats, and it's such a like pinch me feeling. It's amazing.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that. So my experience, and my listeners know this, I tend, it's a positive rant if we're ranting, but I'm always talking about the golf girl community. I have yet to have an experience that hasn't been uplifting, supportive, no matter what level, no matter what age, no matter what outfit. But it just seems to be like the girls are showing up.
Yeah.
They're out there. They want to be learning it.
Yeah.
And so
that community.
the community. And I mean, that's got to fit into there somewhere, right?
100%.
We were just talking about this. Do you want to tell them what we were saying about the collective?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, for us, we wanted to, we're big girls. We're of our girlfriends. We want to be with our friends often. But the golf community that we've met has been
just amazing.
It's nothing like any other sport that we play. Like, it truly is.
Everyone would agree with that.
Wants a community and it's networking and it's really being part of something. And we want our brand message to be that. That's why we put the collective.
I love that.
After because we want our brand to be like, oh, we want to have these meetups in this community and
join the collective of all of us getting together and being out there and making mistakes and trying our best, right?
Well, and then meeting you guys and seeing the energy behind it. You can't help but feel infected by it. And it's like, yes, that's what I want to be. This is why I'm out here doing this.
Right.
And it's infectious. And I just, if, anything, I want more women to be doing the golfing, but, if also to just be like, we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is supportive. Like I said, my experience has not ever been, mean girls or anything like that.
Same
It's
with us.
completely supportive for a small business, on any level.
Right.
There's truly no, oh, you're just a beginner or there's none of that. They're really,
it's even better if you're a beginner.
right. I get more attention.
I'm still learning. Like, I'm in no means like a pro, but I just feel like having the community at all these events, meeting all these girls, everyone is so kind to us. Like, seriously, every time we go to another event, we're like, oh my gosh, we just made so many amazing girlfriends. Like, we're so excited.
Yes.
Like,
We're making a friend.
Truly to feel connected.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, that's...
And so part of our collective, we also want to like branch out because the missing niche was women's golf.
Sure.
We really feel like that is something where we need to build this line because we want women to feel that, but we also want to be like, hey, if you play pickleball or tennis and Pilates and yoga, so we want to be your go-to collective.
And confession. I mean, and this is a while ago, but I'm not above admitting that I would buy a guy's golf shirt just because it would be pink or something cool, a different print, and wear the guy's golf shirt, and
because there wasn't any.
It was so just like black and gray for women, and
that's how we felt too.
Or something that was like very floral, or just
not the pattern that you want to wear and feel confident.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now these are just stunning.
Oh,
and they're so, like you said, complimentary. And I just think, like I said, if I have a good outfit on, my game's just going to be better. Even if I'm shooting 110, looking good too.
That's our whole message is just join the collective. If you look good, you'll feel good, and you might play better. But if you don't, it's okay.
Right. And then, so let's talk. So this is a wellness podcast. podcast. And I'm constantly talking about mental health and what things that we can do and sort of getting out of burnout and obviously all of the chronic illness that's out there.
Right.
And I think, especially for me, the connection with golf helps with that mental wellness and trying to do those things.
Movement and movement in general, yeah.
Well, and I also think too, with the community, as we talk about the girls coming together, I think there's healing in community.
Yes.
And I especially if you find the right people.
The right group.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I was going to say, so we actually, for the month of August, are starting this movement challenge where every single day we're going outside and doing some sort of movement, whether that be golf, pickleball, paddleboarding, she went swimming.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to do that. And that also like kind of ties in with like mental health. And like, I think movement is so key to have mentally feeling good.
Yes. Just being outside. So that's our real big thing for the August challenge.
I love
so
that.
It's 30 days of just, even if you're just sitting outside.
Sure. Yeah.
It's
a vitamin D.
Yeah.
So we want to just encourage everyone to get outside, move your body, and be a good sport while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So even if you're just a good sport to yourself and just being kind and going for a walk. I live near the beach, so a beach walk every day is just like
so
well, and I was gonna say, if you live near the beach and you're not walking on the beach,
this is your surprise.
After work every day to push myself, I'm like, I just worked. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to move my body.
Do it anyway.
Even if just pushing myself 10 minutes, let's just do it. It's life changing.
That prevents the burnout you were just talking about.
Yeah, for
sure. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the beginning, if the listeners didn't hear, but you are out of Huntington Beach.
Yes.
So it is a very localized, niche that you're trying to grow.
Totally.
And are you guys from Huntington?
Yeah. So born and raised.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
Cool.
Which has been so cool because now I have been downtown and seen people with our hats on. And
I know. It's such an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Are you like, can I get a picture?
No, we are. Every time in the contact.
Running after someone with my camera.
Yeah, totally.
So you talked about your parents being entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And that instilled that spirit in you, and you guys were just like, we're taking this over.
Totally.
I think just seeing them growing up, working so hard and being successful and not having a boss and just being able to come to life events for us and be there and
having
just
your own
instilled this work ethic that I think that was so inspiring. So we both definitely got that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, I like to get a little messy.
Yes.
So when you, started it and whatever because I suffered from it greatly. I'm wondering if you guys ever had imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever go through that and were you just like, I don't know why I'm doing this or, where this is going to go, but I'm going to do it anyway. I assume was the attitude, right?
100%.
Absolutely. The two big moments. One is when you start a business, you almost have to become a content creator in today's society.
Right.
So having to pull out your phone and be like, hi guys, it's me. And that
record talking
anyone
videos
who's
of yourself.
it's probably coming up on their feed.
Yeah.
That was a big scary thing for me. I had to just be like, you know what? What's the worst someone's going to say if they see it?
Yeah. So was that the fear? You were worried about judgment from others?
Yeah. I would say that was mine too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think that's so fair.
Had you experienced that before or was just something in the back of your head where, because I know for me, I was like, who's going to want to listen to me? Who's going to want, I think I have something to say, but what does anybody else think I have something to say?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I had just had to be like, no, I feel like I have value. I feel like I'm going to be sharing things, especially with women, what they're going to want to hear.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying, okay, just do another one, just do it. And the most scary thing, and I'm so glad you guys have each other, but like I would have guests on and it would feel easy, just like a natural conversation. And then graduating from that to a solo episode.
Oh, yes.
Totally.
And that's what kind of ties into what you're talking about, just talking to yourself in the camera.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that it's so funny because now we've gotten used to it. So I really don't feel that way anymore. But for the first couple months, it was like daunting just to think of, anyone I've ever grown up with or known
can see these
and are judging me. And I think it's so fair to worry about judging.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Judging you. And now it's like, I couldn't even care less. And in fact, I'm like, oh, you saw my video?
Perfect. Great. That's engagement, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think that was the biggest one for me too. Yeah, I would say
I think, like you were saying when we started, just do it. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. But I think fear definitely is a big thing that holds us back. Right? Yeah. And I think like you said, you're never too old. It's never too late. You're never going to have the perfect amount in your bank account. It's never going to be perfect. So do it anyway.
And also on top of that, I think that we've really been working on networking, because I've learned that through owning a company and just trying to get to the next step, that's been really huge for us. So one thing I did, and listeners can take this advice if they want something. I messaged a CEO of a company on LinkedIn. I messaged a couple, but just saying, like, I admire so much what you're doing. If you have any advice, I'd love 5 minutes of your time.
Yes.
And this amazing woman, CEO, responded, said, absolutely, let's do a Zoom call. And she actually introduced me to a networking event, and I came, and it was all these high up women, and I was so intimidated at first. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And instead I was like, you're just going to be confident and it's going to go great. And it was the best thing I've ever gone to.
And you showed up in the room, right?
Oh, and I was so proud of myself. And to speak about something that I'm so passionate about, that we've built together, that we've worked so hard on. And every woman that I talked to, instead of feeling intimidated, they were so welcoming and made me feel like, wow, what you're doing is so cool. In fact, we have some golf tournaments I'd love you to come to. Or so it turned out to be one of the best things that we've experienced together, and it helped us get a lot of events. But it was such a risk that I was intimidated and had such imposter syndrome, and it worked out so well.
And that feeds into, I don't think we grow unless we're uncomfortable.
Yes,
totally.
I need that on a bumper sticker.
But it's true, because that opens up and unlocks all of these other levels, if you will, of feelings and what we can do and accomplish. And then you kind of get that confidence of, I can do that.
I can do it. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. And just by making yourself uncomfortable, you don't know who that's going to lead you to and what the next doors opened. And it was I'm so glad I did it.
So let's do worst moment, best moment.
Okay.
Oh, love
that. For the journey that you've been on.
Okay.
I can think of a worst moment off the top of my head. Okay. We were at an event and we were super excited to be there, and we're like starting to unload the car. We usually take my car because it has a bigger trunk, and we're about to unload everything, and we're like, we forgot our table. we forgot our table.
So you had nothing to set up?
Yes. So you know what? We made it work. We put everything up on our rack, and we normally only put like some things on our rack because we have everything like packaged underneath our table. But we ended up making it work, and we kind of just like...
It kind of turned out better.
Yeah.
We like could roll it around, and we were
making content.
That's so cool.
And so it's just learning on the fly instead of ever just being like, oh, this is horrible, or events like that happen. Instead, we look at each other and we're like, all right, let's just make it.
Let's make the best out of it, and let's just like work from it and grow from it. Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think of any other terrible moments. I feel like that we honestly have so much fun together when we're at
it seems like it. Like, we're not just sisters, but like there's a really good rapport.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. we're best friends. We don't need anyone else.
Because I was gonna ask like worst fight, but I don't see that.
No. Well, you know what? Growing up, her and I, we would never fight, but if we did fight, it would be about clothes, which is ironic because now we have a clothing.
Don't worry, we have all tons of sizes.
Yeah, not funny, but we never really fought growing up.
No, we are always on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
I feel very blessed for that.
Yeah, seriously,
and we really get each other. So I feel like if I know, I'm like, oh, I could tell she needs
some space.
Yeah,
I'm like super extrovert until I need some alone time, and then I'm like, okay, no one talk to me.
I need to reset. We go, okay, I get.
Yeah, I know you're like that too, though.
Yeah, but that's good that you can communicate that.
Yeah,
I guess right. One of the things about
that we know each other. Yeah,
well, and on a wellness journey, like just having that local voice to say, okay, I'm at my limit.
Yeah.
Love you. But I need to go over here and just be by myself.
And I think
that's better for everyone.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think that you're not as much, but like I always was such a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And I stopped that like in my late 20s, and that's the most liberating thing.
It's so, yes.
I'm like, I stopped living for other people and started being a voice that sticks up for myself, and I feel like everyone respects me more.
I think so. I wasn't as young to figure it out as you did. But one of the other things that came along with too is it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to do everything for everyone. I just can't.
You respect your time.
Exactly.
So other people will in turn.
And no is kind of liberating too.
It is.
Well, not in a spiteful way, not in disrespect.
Yeah.
But no.
Respectfully, no. And I don't need to give you
I don't need to give you a reason. That's exactly it. And that's part of my boundaries. And that's, we talk a lot about on the podcast, self-abandonment and self-sabotage. And just really being clear of what your boundaries are, what you can do for yourself, that then, when your cup is full, you can then pour into somebody else's.
Right. But if you're constantly draining your cup and not filling it up,
so, and then you get resentful.
Yeah.
That's just all the emotions that come with it. And I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Being able to catch myself now.
That's so good.
Okay,
that's a good boundary.
But it takes
it does learn. Yeah. I know. I think our dad too instilled that in us, that he's like, you need to protect your energy, because our dad is he's always telling us, protect your peace, protect your energy. And I think he learned that too, like a little bit later in life. And now he's teaching us from, younger,
because it's so important. And a lot of times I didn't even realize it was so automatic for me.
Yes.
That, because I also think females in general are just automatically givers.
Right.
Just
give.
We want to take care, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not that I don't want to give or take care of you, but I would be so much better if I can have my 10 minutes or whatever I need and then regroup and come back, and it'll just be different experience for you and for me.
Yes. And I think that's the movement piece too, like getting that movement in and going golfing or going on a walk. And that recharges us and fills our cups too, right? So we can be better people to our people.
Yeah. I've gotten really big on, because I would love to see my friends and be part of everything, but it was hard to also fit that into my routine during the week.
Sure.
And so now I've really started being like, hey, I need to get a workout in.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on a walk with me?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to this class and maybe we can get there a little early and talk a little bit
further? Schedule it.
Yeah. And so that has helped me so much with keeping a social life.
Yeah.
My sanity, and also keeping a routine, because when I don't have a routine in a week, by the weekend I'm like, oh my God, I'm exhausted.
Yes.
Well, and I noticed for me the routine holds me accountable.
It does.
Yeah. So then I know when I'm veering off. It's like, oh, okay. So this is, and we talked on this podcast too, the difference between motivation and discipline. So that would I like question to you. What do you think the difference between motivation and discipline is?
Gosh, that's a hard one for me, because I struggle with, I have to work out every single day. And if I don't, I feel like guilty. And I know that's kind of like.
So let me reword it then.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is more important to have?
Oh.
That's such a
good question.
Well, I think the motivation is like, I want to be the healthiest version of myself, and I like the way I look when I am avidly working out and getting my steps in.
And being disciplined to do those things.
And I think our discipline comes through like the routine build in order to get that. So I notice when I'm slipping, my whole world feels like it's just out of disarray.
Yeah.
But I think that if I'm big picture and just being like, you want to be healthy, like, don't you want to
like have that motivation to be healthy and live a good life and have a good lifestyle?
But it is a really hard question.
No, and
they're both, I guess.
But it's meant to kind of make you pause. It took out the willpower or whatever I needed not to do the bad habit, and it just started helping me make better habits because I wanted to emulate a healthy person.
Love that.
Yes,
that's amazing.
And I don't think there's a wrong answer to the motivation discipline.
Yeah,
I think to get where you have to have some motivation. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. A New Year's resolution, whatever. Now I'm motivated to do this, but the discipline I feel is what carries it through.
If it's implementing that
goal, right? And then, like, so to your point, when you're like, I don't feel like it, but I'm just going to tell myself 10 minutes.
Yeah,
that's the discipline step. And also not the self-abandonment.
Yes.
You've told yourself, this is what I want to do.
I'm going to show up for you.
For you. And it's still going to benefit everybody.
Right.
Absolutely. I think that in my past, like sometimes with eating, I struggled with that. Definitely during college, just wanting to.
We both definitely struggled with eating.
I think we all totally. But we We both definitely did. And so just like not feeling like, oh, I can't eat that. It's too much. I'm eating too many calories and just really not being kind to ourselves.
Now our mindset is so different. I'm like, I need to eat to fuel my body for work, for my workout, for golfing, for, you know.
And we're really big on like telling each other, like, you look so strong and healthy.
Yeah. Instead of singing. Right? Yes. That's not our goal, right? We want to be strong. Yeah.
And so we really try not to even use skinny and like our like verbiage to each other, because that's not our goal.
Yeah.
And when that was our goal, we both weren't in healthy mind spaces.
Yeah.
And we were very skinny, but we weren't healthy. And when I look back at pictures of then and like remember
how you felt at that time.
Yes, we weren't happy, and everything was about, oh, I'm not eating enough, or I'm eating too much, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And now I'm like, oh, it's all about self-love.
Sure, I need that fuel. I need that
food is fuel. Yeah, for sure. When you're older, when you're 70, if you start weightlifting now, you're going to be so much stronger then. Yeah. And it's such a good feeling. We definitely try to weightlift like at least 4 days a week.
Well, and to that, that's why you have to fuel your body.
Yes,
you need those calories. Yeah, and luckily with the weightlifting, you can eat a little bit more because you eat more. Right? But it's good things. It's protein.
Yeah, good rice, carb, big carb.
Right. Yeah, and it's so funny because now the healthiest I've ever been, I was eating the most I've ever.
It's just you ran a marathon.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
I know.
You know what's so funny is the marathon started because we really wanted to start the business. So I was like, you know what? I feel like running a marathon is so mentally, like, you are so locked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I could have the discipline to run a marathon, I could run a business. That is so. And so I did the marathon and I was like, I did it. I proved to myself that I can do hard things.
Yeah.
And then we started the business and now I'm like,
and then I did a half marathon, but my next venture will be a full.
It's
hard. That's really hard. I mean, I was never a runner growing up. Like, I never enjoyed running. And so when I did the half marathon, I felt so accomplished. Yeah. And I'm like, my next goal will be a full. Yeah.
Well, and running's hard on the body.
It is.
I really feel like if all we ever do is walk, I feel like that's long. That's perfect. But yes, there's these challenges that you want to do.
Right.
Definitely. Push yourself. What can you do?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it was just the mental aspect of like, okay, I can be disciplined. I can do hard things. And that to me was the hardest thing I could do. And then everything after, I'm like, oh, you already done the marathon.
Yeah.
So you can run a business.
Yes.
So where do you see, what is the future vision? Where do you see it going?
Yeah. So I think that we really want to break into women's golf as our niche. We've gotten so many women that have requested pickleball and tennis. So I think that our next drops are going to be aimed at clothing that is for golf, women's, pickleball, tennis,
Pilates, yoga.
Yeah. So we would love to be your go-to collective for all things movement.
Yeah. All things movement. Yeah.
We want to have it be women's meetups and clothing, and anytime you're going to move your body, you can reach for one of our tennis dresses or one of our golf skirt sets. So, really, at the end of the day, we're trying to be the Good Sport collective of all things
movement.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And that can absolutely be just going and getting coffee.
I'm going to get coffee.
So that takes me, so this will be the last portion. It'll be fun. Okay. And I had to write it down.
I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
So it's going to be rapid fire.
Okay.
And whoever wants to like both, you can.
Perfect.
Okay. Favorite golf course?
The ranch.
Yeah.
In Laguna?
Yeah. I would say ranch. Yeah.
All right. Coffee, matcha, tea?
Coffee.
I'm a hot Americano. It's so boring.
I'm any type of coffee. I'm a teacher who also like stereotype, but I love coffee.
Yeah. Morning person, night person?
Morning.
Both of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Morning. I love that.
You'll see us at 6 a.m.
Yeah. In bed by 9.
I love it. Yeah. Well, I talk about all the time, prioritize your sleep.
That's huge.
Life-changing.
Yes.
Life. Sleep.
Protect your peace.
Yes.
Protect your sleep.
Yes. Protect your sleep. Absolutely. Most embarrassing golf moment?
Oh, going with all my guy friends, and like our whole friend group, and shanking the ball, then just being like, oh,
yeah.
That's the one where you're like, I think I got a 12 on this hole.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go sit in the car.
When I first started back doing it, my husband wouldn't even keep score for me because he was just trying to let me get out there.
Learn,
So it was happy face or frowny face. Oh, so I had more happy faces than you were happy.
That's okay.
Okay. One word your sister would use to describe you.
Oh my gosh.
Confident.
Oh, I love that.
I can think of a million.
I was trying to think of a million too.
But I love her confidence. It resonates with me and makes me also
I love you.
It makes you want to rise to her level.
I would say you're so personable, like with everyone and in every aspect of your life. I would say personable.
I love that. I love that. One business lesson you'll never forget.
Oh, right. There's so many lessons that we've learned.
I think never forget the mission. Like the whole point of our brand is because we were women that loved golf and we felt like we were underrepresented.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that we do, we're like, as long as we keep that
and keep our purpose of why,
because they can't stop being fun.
Right. Yeah.
Stop it.
And the whole point is that like we want to have a community for women and be a brand that is like for women to look your best and feel your best so that you can play your best.
Yeah.
And that is like the core. So as long as we have that and we can add more sports and more movement and more options.
Sure.
But like that has to be the core.
Yep. I love that. Okay. You kind of already talked about that. The best advice that your parents gave you.
That we can do anything we put our minds to.
As long as we work hard.
Our whole lives, our parents have told us, you can do anything you put your mind to as long as you work at it and you keep your mind set to your goal. And I feel like that's just,
and it's true. Yeah. If you work hard, you can really do it.
Yes. You can do anything. Yeah.
One more thing that they always taught us was always be kind to everyone. Right. And you can learn from everyone in real realm, like from the CEO of the company to the janitor.
Yeah.
100%.
Can learn so much from every person.
And like never judge someone by their looks.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Not with their insides. Like you could be pretty on the outside, but you have to be pretty on the inside too. We're always taught that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, you guys did really good. It wasn't.
I thought we're like thinking of it.
He's like, ask for one.
No, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, where can people find you?
Yeah. So you guys can find us on our website at goodsportcollective.com.
Yes.
And then
at Good Sport Collective on social medias. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're growing every day.
I love it. And then a messy moment that you want to leave with the listeners.
Well, we have no background in any of this and we are just learning on the fly. So you're going to see some cringe social posts of us trying to just talk to a camera.
Having our quiz, we're trying to post 2 to 3 times a day. So you might see some just messy videos.
Everything's messy. It's right.
But I love cars after each event because it's just us setting everything up.
In our garage. It's full of all the good sports stuff. But it's so amazing to be this process. We're just so grateful to be here and on your podcast. Thank you so much for having us. I'm so grateful that you came on the podcast. So glad we met.
I can't wait to see where you go and what you do. And I'm so incredibly grateful that you chose the podcast to come on and share your story. And I wish you a ton of success.
Thank you.
And the best with what you're doing. And that's all that we have for you today. As always, keep it messy.
Yes, keep it messy.
Hey, thanks for listening to Everything's Messy podcast. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, along with following me on Spotify and Instagram. If you think you have a messy story and you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, head over to my website at everythingsmessywellness.com. There you will also find resources for the messy topics that we cover and links to one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and so much more. As always, keep it messy.